What is up? I am Marquita Hudgens, and this is the voice behind the voice. I have been talking about just about everything that has to do with yourself. I've talked about self awareness, self respect. All in all, I'm talking about self actualization, which is realizing your potential and the things that you need to accomplish, like self awareness and self respect, before you can get to a point where you really realize your full potential. And I've also talked about things that you should let go of or get under control before you can really start to realize your potential. And the reason why I've been going through this is because I ran across the ideal of self actualization when I was doing my 100-day challenge on IGTV and YouTube, and and I was looking for self. I believe I was looking to do a video about self awareness, and I believe it was self awareness. And when I went self actualization popped up, and I was like, boom! I'm definitely gonna figure out what this is. So this is basically just me figuring out really what self actualization is and sharing it with you. And also, I've realized that self actualization was really an idea from someone. So I'm also gathering my ideas that come to mind as I learn more about it. And so one of my ideas that I came up with was self protocol. I'm sure someone has come up with the idea of self protocol before, but it never made it big enough to where I could Google it and learn from them. So I'm going off of my own dome, and I've already talked about. So there's five actual. I have made five components to self protocol. The first one was committing to your own values. So go ahead and watch that video, committing to your own values. And then now I'm on number two, which is setting your own standards. So with setting your own standards, I have to let you know before I get into like the definitions and things like that. I want you to know the reason why I say own is because this is about you. Self actualization is about you. It's not about the people watching. That's why I did my series on um, the pros of starting now, because it's not about who is watching. Okay, it's about you. It's about your growth. It's about your story. Okay, um, and I want you to know that when I say your own, I mean because a lot of us we get into this kind of, well, we're born into, we, like I said last time, um we have no choice when we're children because we have to do what our parents say. But when you become an adult, you need to basically put away the childish things. And I think when the Bible talks about putting away childish things, I believe that the Bible is saying you're an adult now, and you're going to have your own experiences, your own downfalls, your own happy moments. And a lot of times you're going to learn that what your parents taught you as a child don't really, um, they're not your parents' ideals that they taught you as a child, their standards and values and what have you, are not universal. So when you go to get your first job, you're going to learn that the way that the company is ran is different than the way your household was ran as a child. So this is a very smart thing to understand, because a lot of people, I mean, to this day, and it's basically, it's more of an old school thing. You'll see that your parents and grandparents are like this, but um it's it's harder for them. Like, they want you to raise your kids how they were raised. And it's hard for them to understand that it's 2021 and we're not just whooping our kids over everything today. You know what I mean? Like, we're not just we're not just grabbing the belt under every single circumstance. Like that's not what we do today. You know what I mean? Like today we let kids play, right? We let children play, especially now after everything we went through with COVID, like, and playgrounds being shut down and swimming pools and all that stuff. Like kids have adapted to playing at home, so you can really can't judge young parents today because as things start to open up, yeah, we'll get back into the swing of things and getting our kids outside and playing with other kids. But right now, we are their friends. We are their principals. You know what I mean? The house, that's their playground. And a lot of us, we know we went off the chain with Amazon, making sure that our children are comfortable and having fun at home. And I applaud you, parents who took those steps and silenced the voices of the back in the dayers, who that are judging you for making your children comfortable during this time. Because when your kids grow up, they're not going to remember COVID-19 being such a bad thing. They'll remember, the lives that were lost and all that stuff, but they're going to remember that their parents made sure that they were still having fun at home, even though so many things outside were shut down. So I applaud you. But back to what I'm saying, and even with your kids, a lot of the things that you're teaching them when they grow up are just not going to matter anymore. There are things that right now to this day, my dad it bothers him about the way that I raise my children, but he doesn't realize that the way he was raised doesn't matter today. Although he has lots of knowledge and lots of life experience that we can learn from, at the same time, when he was 5 and now are two different worlds. And as I'm growing as a mother, I have to learn how to raise a child in the alpha generation and not raise a millennial, basically. So or a baby boomer. I'm not raising baby boomers. You know what I mean? Okay, so I want you to know that when I say your own, I'm talking about your own. It's about you. And that's what the voice behind the voice is. It's about you. It's about your voice. It's about when you open your mouth to vocalize and communicate your feelings and your goals and your limitations and everything. When you open your mouth and you begin to tell other people about yourself, you need to first know who you are. You need to know who you are. You need to know that you need to know what you like or what you don't like, not what your mom and dad wanted you to like and not like when you were a child. That's the point that I'm trying to make. So when I say set your own standards, I'm talking about you getting your own standards and setting them yourself. Okay? So let me get into the definitions of standard and set, and then I'll talk about why and how. Okay? So a standard is, I thought I heard something. Okay. So a standard is a quality or an attainment, something that you want to reach. Not necessarily like a goal, because we know that goals are things that we want to do in our lives. Like I've said in past videos, sorry, my nails have been getting on my nerves. Like I've said in past videos, what did I say? I was talking about goals. Sheesh. I hate when that happens. Anyways, whatever. So, a level of quality or attainment. That's what Siri says. Okay? And that's the only one I want to use. Okay, principles of conduct formed by informed. Let me just take the phone. I don't know why I'd be doing that. Cancel. Principles of conduct informed by notions of honor and decency. Okay, so that's it. That's it for me here. So I've told you before that my goal is to not be in this closet anymore. And if I am still in this closet, it will be different. Things will be different. Um, but um, that's a goal. Like, I don't want to be in the closet anymore. The standard is being able to do as much as I possibly can inside of this closet. And that means making sure that my kids are good outside, and not outside of the house, but outside of the room, um, so that they don't come in here bothering me. Making sure that I have some soundproof just in case they come in here bothering me. You don't hear them, even though I'm going to hear them. And then, excuse me, making sure that I'm comfortable, making sure that my lighting is good. It could be better, but it's good for now. So I have a standard that I have to uphold, and a lot of times people think that having a standard, we're going to get back to the own thing, having a standard is doing what other people are doing, or doing what you think other people would approve of you. And I really want to stress that this is your own standards. That's why we started with the values, because I had you write down some values, and start to hold yourself accountable to them. So now you take those values and you decide what you're going to do, how you are going to, the method of how you're going to go about attaining and keeping those values in place. So I value being a good mother. Okay. I value being the type of mother who cares not only for her children, but for her unborn grandchildren, and for the legacy that could, and for the legacy that that follows practically. So my standard as a mom is that, one, my mental health needs to be on point, because I can't run around just beating kids, right? I can't be the type of mom that my kids are going to loathe when they get older. And like I said, a lot of people in those back in the day generations, which I have prayed for, go ahead and check out my prayer podcast. Let me just say, prayer podcast, I have prayed for the baby boom. I prayed for all these people, okay? So I can talk about them, okay? I always say, if you're not going to talk about them, if you're not going to pray about them, don't talk about them, okay? If you're not praying for me, don't walk around talking about me, okay? Don't be talking about my marriage if you're not willing to pray for my marriage, okay? Don't be talking about my kids if you're not willing to pray for my kids, okay? So that's what I say, and I'm living it. I prayed for them already. I'm going to talk about them. I'm talking about y'all, okay? I already prayed for you. If you want to hear the prayer, go on over to the baby boomer prayer, and if bleh, okay? But I'm talking about y'all. So I understand that you guys feel like kids just need to be in a kids need to stay in the child's place, and be seen and not heard, and so on and so forth. But I am not just raising children. Like, my son wants to go to public school, yes, but I'm not raising just a public school kid. You know what I mean? I'm not raising kids who are only whose only potential is public school, community college, office job. I'm not. That's not what I'm raising. I'm raising millionaires, okay? I'm raising people who can get an idea, make a decision, set a goal, follow it. You know what I mean? Who can vocalize, who can say, okay, this is what I can do, and this is what I can't do. This is why I did it. This is what I meant to do. Um, I said what I meant, and I meant what I said. I want my children to be able to open their mouths and know what they're talking about. So I don't mind explaining things to my kids. My kid just came up to me. They're watching Storybots. My kid just came up to me and he was like, I know where the water goes when you flush the toilet. Okay. He walked to the toilet. I said, don't touch the toilet. Come on, walk back out. You don't got to. You don't have to put on a whole office. It's not a demonstration. Okay, you're not coming before the board. Just stand right here and let me know what happens. So my kids enjoy talking and talking about stuff. They're a kid. They're 5 and 3. So 75% of the time they ain't talking about nothing. But when they are talking about something, they know they're talking about something. Do you know what I mean? And that's a standard that they're being raised. They're being raised according to this standard. They need to attain the ability to 100% of the time. By the time they're 16, okay, I'm gonna be light. By the time they're 30, come on now, some people in their 20s that don't know what they talking about ever. Okay, so by the time they're 25, I want my kids to know what they're talking about 100% of the time. Okay, it's a quality, and a lot of times when you have a quality about yourself, you decide to do something with excellence. Like I decide to mother with excellence. I have had so many people call me neglectful. Because for one thing, when my babies cried, when they were babies, I have enough confidence in myself as a mother to know what they need. Okay, so my child's crying. I already done went before the first comes out, right? Because my kids don't. I always say, Kamari, he didn't cry, he complained. So before that first came out, um, I already have the checklist in my head, right? Right? They ate, they slept, they've been entertained, they've been loved on, the diaper's been changed. They're crying right now because they just want a little extra attention. And I don't have to give it to them. I don't. So you hear your baby crying first, right? You hear your baby crying first. And then someone else hears the baby crying. And hey, your baby's crying, right? Which means they're breathing. Right? If they're crying, they're breathing. Come get me if my baby's not breathing. Okay? Because everything outside of that, I got it. I got it. Okay? I got it. And if you got eyes, and this is the thing, it's the thing about the village, y'all. I know this has become a complete motherhood video, but somebody needs to hear it. The thing about the village, let me tell you about the village, why I'm here, okay? While I'm here in this space, I'm almost done. Let me talk about this village. I'm going to talk about setting the standards in a minute. Village members. I don't care if you have your own kids. I don't care if you never had a kid before. I don't care. I don't care if you're a teenager. I don't care if you're old. I don't care if you're the grandparent, the great-grandparent, the grandparent's friend. Okay, look, the village. Listen to me. If you have eyes and you can see that baby, and you can see that baby's mama, and the baby's over there, and the mama's over there, and you right here, and the baby's crying, how about you say, hey, Mom, can I pick up the baby? I think your baby needs some attention. You don't even have to say that. Can I pick the baby up? And then go pick the baby up. Don't turn around and go to church the next day. Or go call somebody on the phone and talk about how neglectful this mama is because she just let her baby cry and cry. You're the village. If you're close enough to see the baby, and you're close enough that you feel like your opinion is valid in the baby's life, then you're a part of the village. And what you should not be doing is talking down about the parents. Because you should be doing everything you can to make sure that baby is good. Because it doesn't make you look good to talk about the parent. Because if you come to me talking about, oh, so and so, they're so neglectful and they just be letting the baby cry and cry and they just do this and they just do that and they don't be doing this and they don't be doing that. And okay, did you pick the baby up? Did you make sure the baby was good? Was she beating the baby? Did she pick up the diaper bag and swing it towards the child? Did she throw the bottle at the child? Was she cussing at the child? Screaming in the infant's face? And if so, what did you do about it? Did you say, I'm going to make a phone call real quick. Did you call CPS? You know what I mean? Or did you just go get in your car and call the whole neighborhood and the whole church and tell them about how neglectful this mama is? Like, get out of here. Get out of here, man. Okay, so let me get off of that. So, because I've heard it. I've heard it on myself. Yeah, so-and-so said you was neglecting your baby. Oh, why do I keep doing this? Okay, so I be reading through these definitions, and I think I'm going to just get it, and it's going to be fluid, and then I get in here, and I start talking about everything that comes to mind, and then the definitions just be creeping out, okay? So, okay, so I had a very valid point on this whole setting thing. So, I'm going to read the definition of set, but I'm going to give you some examples because set is... Okay, I'm just going to tell you. So set is basically putting something in its place. And I don't have to read it. I got this. Okay, set is putting something in its place, but not only, don't just put it there, right? So when you set something, you put it in place, and the place that it's in, it prepares it to... Depending on where you put it, it prepares it to go to another level, to take it to another level. So let me give you an example. So a hen, you set a hen, right? The hen gets set, and it lays an egg. A sail, you set sail, and the sail catches the wind. There's another one in here. You set a seed in the ground, and the seed grows. So when you set your standards, you're setting your standards because you're a human being. This is what human beings need, standards. Just like just like we need seeds. Just like we need eggs. Some people need their cells, okay? Some people need to be out in the water. It's necessary, okay? So we set the standard. And we make a decision. We make a decision to set the standard. That's how we set the standard. So why we set the standard is because we're human beings and we need standards. We are all individuals, and we cannot continue walking around trying to make everyone do what we want them to do. It's time out. So if you know somebody who's trying to make you live your life according to how they were raised or how they want you to live, what they expect, stop it. Knock it off. Don't let them do that to you, okay? Stand up for yourself. I am a human being, and I deserve to be treated as such. So, we're human, we're flesh, and we're blood. That's why we need to set these standards. And then how you make a decision. So that's what setting the standard is. The standard is your decision. I have decided that I'm going to have dreadlocks. So that's my standard. A lot of people feel like, their standard for hair is getting their weave done, they lace front, they silk press, and that's them. I can't walk around wanting everybody to have dreads. And if you walk around telling me I can't have dreads, you're out, you're cut, bye. You got a problem with my dreads, I got a problem with you. So, That is the standard for me. For my hair will be in dreads until I change that standard. So I have made the decision. Now, how I live it. Now, I can't wake up one morning and be like, "All right, I'm done." Because then, I mean, I can. Because then that moment my standard becomes bald, right? So, if I have chosen to wear my hair in dreads, I have to live that. That's a very obvious example. Standards aren't always that obvious. Some people, um, we have standards. We have different laws that are put in place that are standards that people don't go by. Like, what is it? Is it 10 and 2? The driving the to drive 10 and 2. Everybody don't do that. So you have to know for yourself what's comfortable for you, and you live it. And what I mean by live it is there are people who are not going to agree with your standards, but you have to make the decision. Am I going to live according to my own standards, or am I going to live according to theirs? So that's how. So take your was it 3 values, and now set standards to those values. So make decisions of how you're going to go about making sure that those values stay in place. All right? Somebody's calling. Um oh, my mom. Mom. Okay, let me turn it off. Sorry, I had to see my dirty room. We just got up. I was like, "Oh shoot, I got to do this video." So I had to get it up. Boom, boom, boom. I literally have 30 minutes to post this episode, but y'all got to see my little dirtiness. We got up, I took a shower, I put the kids in front of the TV with the Pop Tarts, and I came in here. So, um, so yeah, so set. So when you're setting the standards, you are representing, you're living these standards. So when you got your values going, and then um, got your values going, and then um, set standards with these. So I'll show you when I do the next episode. I'll do like a little diagram, but however many standards you want, let's just say 3 standards each, um, and each value is gonna be a web, but each value, give it 3 standards, 3 things, decisions that you've made to make sure that you commit to these values, um, and live it, and live it. That's the thing. That you set the hen, the eggs come. You set the standards, you live your life, and that's it. All right. So I don't want to mess this up, but okay. So over here. Aww. Okay, so where am I? I'm gonna scoot over like this. Okay, so I had to do this. It has to be 10 seconds. Over here is go ahead and click here to subscribe, and then check out the rest of my voice behind the voice. And here is a video that YouTube thinks is best for you. All right, take care. Bye.